begin the broadcast with the fact that this is big news, as in a first, Iran launched a barrage of over 300 missiles and drones from its soil directly targeting Israel. Videos of explosions and fireballs over Jerusalem have exploded across the media as Israeli air defenses worked to thwart Iran's attack. Now, Israel's main ally, the US, too scrambled its jets and took down some of the missiles headed towards Israel. US President Joe Biden and Netanyahu held a telephonic conversation where Biden pledged his ironclad support for Israel. IDF has said that 99% of the drone or missiles were shot down before they entered Israeli airspace, and that some of the launches were from Iraq and Yemen.
אמש איראן פתחה במתקפה נגד ישראל ושיגרה יותר מ-300 איומים מסוגים שונים. האיום האיראני פגש את העליונות האווירית והטכנולוגית של צה"ל בשילוב קואליציה לוחמת חזקה שיחד ירתו את רובם המכריע של האיומים. ירתנו 99% מהאיומים ששוגרו לשטח מדינת ישראל. זהו הישג אסטרטגי משמעותי מאוד. בנוסף לשיגורים מאיראן, בוצעו מספר שיגורים משטח עיראק ותימן, אף אחד מהם לא חדר לשטח ישראל.
However, the nation did add there was a small number of hits sustained by the nation, including one at an IDF base in southern Israel. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that the nation was preparing for a direct attack by Iran and that they are prepared both defensively and offensively. Listen in.
בשנים האחרונות, וביתר שאת בשבועות האחרונים, ישראל נערכת לאפשרות של תקיפה ישירה מאיראן. מערכות ההגנה שלנו פרוסות. אנחנו ערוכים לכל תרחיש, הן בהגנה והן בהתקפה. מדינת ישראל חזקה, צה"ל חזק, הציבור חזק.
Since then, both Israel and Iran have closed their airspaces. Meanwhile, Netanyahu convened a war cabinet meet. This, as the UN Security Council is set to hold an emergency meet. Additionally, Joe Biden is set to convene a G7 leaders meet today. The attack has been dubbed as a retaliatory attack for Israel's killing of an Iranian military commander in Syrian capital of Damascus earlier this month. Meanwhile, India has expressed concern over the escalation of hostility between the two nations, calling for a threat to peace and security in the region. India has urged for immediate de-escalation and restraint. As we continue to track this development, let's also tell you, with escalation in the Middle East, flights to and from Europe and the UK are set to cost more. This, as domestic and international airlines have started avoiding Iranian airspace with the looming threat of conflict. This would also mean that flying time is set to increase by at least an hour, likely sending airfares northwards. Arunil, my colleague, joins me for the latest. Arunil, as far as we speak about the situation, of course, is one aspect of it, but the implications on the airspace as well, what are we picking up on that front?
Well, as the tensions increase in the West Asia, primarily between Iran and Israel, after the attack that Israel had carried out against an embassy of Iran in Syria, reports from the US as well as several other countries are predicting that a counter-attack may be launched from Iran as well. And that is why the airspace of Iran is being primarily not used, primarily avoided with several international airline companies, airlines adopting for a diversion. That is why the time between, say, an India and London flight as well, Air India flight, the time increases because of that, because you can't fly over Iran. A conscious decision has been taken, and the diversion is leading to more time, as well as the charges of the flights have also increased with more fuel consumption that has to be considered as well. Be it Lufthansa, be it Qantas, several other international airlines have also followed in the same decision. Air India also following suit, wherein Air India flights are not flying, not using up the airspace of Iran, and instead using a diversion, which basically is increasing the flight travel, flight time as well, and the increase in flight tickets also that basically have been incurred or from the passengers.
Right, Arunit, I appreciate you getting us inputs as far as how this would impact in the given situation at the moment. But let's leave the conversation at that. But viewers, let's also tell you, in fact, as tensions between Iran and Israel escalate, innocent Indians are reportedly caught in the crossfire. Now, a cargo ship named MSC Aries and related to Israel has been hijacked by Iran. What's concerning is that Indian nationals are likely to be on board of that ship. Now, the government sources say 17 Indian nationals are present on the vessel, which is now under Iranian control. Sources also add that the government is in touch with Iranian authorities and efforts are being made to ensure safety and early release of the Indian nationals.
Iran is the world's biggest state sponsor of terror. Its network of terror doesn't just threaten the people of Israel, Gaza, Lebanon and Syria. The regime in Iran fuels the war in Ukraine and beyond. Iran will bear the consequences for choosing to escalate the situation any further.
Well, India has asked Iran that, look here, there are 17 Indian citizens there. Just make sure that they are safe, and can we have the Indians back, please? The Indian government can speak for Indian citizens to Iran. And India has strong ties with Iran, as of course with Israel. So India has asked Iran about the citizens, about their safety, and about their return.